Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there.
We do hope you are subscribed to Hearts Home. If you aren't, please do go ahead, subscribe, click the little bell, and hopefully you'll get some notifications, as this is a brand new channel. And, there's nothing in this channel that they could really demonize us for, certainly. This is all going to be positive, and it's going to be one of our biggest passions in life.
I know it's going to be positive. It's going to be uplifting. It's going to be something to help turn the tide, I feel. And if you're needing that upliftment, you can come over here, click on anything. Just pick a tab, click on it. You're going to feel better.
Yeah, so we are going to share some information that Ganesh wanted to get across. Ganesh came through this morning in this morning's mantras and meditation. So, Cindy and I, we're unique beings, even though, we are a couple and we complement each other. Again, whether you want to look at it as the Ida and the Pingala, unified, they create this beautiful energy that runs through the Shushumna and illuminates the mind and the soul. And so in some ways, the masculine and feminine, always two halves of one whole, coming at things from a different perspective, the yin and the yang, all that. We could go into all the allegory and symbolism. And as well, we are always up and at it at EEARTS and Evolutionary. And I like to think of it kind of like, okay, brace yourself over at Evolutionary. There's still going to be some things that might be a little touchy. Absolutely. Today's video, I kept going. I actually uploaded it to both channels because I didn't really want to put it on EEARTS, even though the message that came through last night was a channel message to share. So, I uploaded it to both and was just figuring which one do I put it on. Because we understand that there's people that don't want to have their vibrations pulled down in these times. But at the same time, we don't want to be caught unprepared. But again, Hearts Home, always safe. We're not going to go down any other rabbit holes besides how to lift our vibes. So Ganesha wanted to clarify things for everybody since this new channel is a new endeavor, so to speak. And Cindy will relay the info that she got from Ganesha this morning.
Yes, so this morning, mantras, Ganesh came in and he just wanted to explain a little bit further on how to use his mantra, because there's different ways to use certain mantras. Each deity has their own special way that they work with people. So Ganesh is the remover of obstacles. So if you have something in your life that you want to accomplish and you want all obstacles removed so you can walk down that path, Ganesh is one that can help you with that. Ganesh is completely amazing. He's a very humble being. He's always wanting to be helpful. He can rewrite soul contracts. A lot goes in with his work. He does a lot. But getting back to his mantra, using his mantra daily is important with the intent to remove the obstacles from that day to your overall goal. So Ganesh is like building. He's like building a foundation. He's only going to build you the strongest foundation for that goal that you might have in life. No matter how big, Ganesh is going to get it done right. So think of the strongest foundation you could ever have to really make your dreams come true. And he's going to help remove the obstacles for that day. Now, of course, there's always some sort of karmic thing going on in our lives that we may have to straighten out, but that's going to be shown to you. And that's why it's a daily thing working with Ganesh, and not just from here, boom, make it to that place. And no, it needs to be daily, and it needs to be built. It needs to be a conversation with you and Ganesh. It needs to be an energetic exchange of energy, and little by little he will help you. Now, he's removed some really seriously huge obstacles for Mike and I mean, just amazing. I never have any expectations, but we have gone to Ganesh with some pretty big problems, and Ganesh really, really came through with flying colors. So he's really good about that too. I mean, if you're in a huge pickle, you sit and you talk to Ganesh, he's going to do everything he can for you to make your path an easier one. If you have a crisis, if something huge goes wrong in your life, Ganesh is going to work with you. But overall, he does like to work with people daily to remove your obstacles for that day, for the bigger transition you're trying to make.
It's said in the Vedic tradition that there is a presiding deity that actually literally resides within our main chakras. And so he resides in our root chakra. And, he's all about getting us rooted, grounded, prepared, building that foundation on which to build from. This is why it's traditional that you always start your mantras with Ganeshas. It's just, again, starting from the bottom up, so to speak. And, again, he is the one that we can count on to do what's necessary to manage all the energies involved in manifesting something. Now, sometimes it might not end up looking like what we expect. Just to share with you guys, we've been running into plumbing issues, and the plumbing issues haven't stopped, and they're becoming catastrophic and beyond anything that I would have expected in this, very, very affordable house that we bought, which is relatively not becoming so affordable at a time when we're ready to look for something not necessarily bigger and better, but more remote, so we could focus in on really our spiritual side of things, as we find that the energies, as they are increasing the ability of the cell towers to reach different places and to have more intensity, it's making it tougher and tougher on us to find our clarity. And so we also are really looking forward to getting out there. And this is at a time when we would be loving to be building and saving towards something. It's leaking out the other end, so to speak. But we do the mantras to Ganesh every single day, and almost every day. I would say I do hit his mantra twice a day, every day, as well as Lakshmi's and Vishnu's. For myself, it's twice a day, every day. If I go to bed and I haven't done them a second time, as I try to do them in the morning to get the day going, I just can't sleep. I just feel like there's something so incomplete with the day that I have to do them, and then I could go to sleep. And again, it's keeping that energy rolling and that ball rolling. Now, I understand there's a bigger purpose involved, and it could be all about timing. And this is part of the trust that develops when you work with the devas over time. Again, these devas are beings that are residing up on at least 5th density, if not mostly 6th and 7th density. They are more of a unity consciousness awareness than we are down here. So they understand the bigger picture much more clearly than we do. And so you develop this trust. And hey, it could be about timing. And you might end up going into a situation that's less than ideal. And it might have been something that could have been catastrophic. So we trust in that and we move forward. Having trouble meditating, right? Try mantra meditation. And we've talked about this before. And this literally means releasing the mind, as our minds are usually very preoccupied with worldly things, bills. Who's not, concerned about the bills in these times, with everything going up in price. And of course, we have everything that we're hit with all day long. Mantras do a lot. And even just simply certain practices of focusing on the breath, focusing on one thing so that your mind is not darting, the monkey mind always going in a million different directions. For those people that have a hard time stilling the mind, mantras are great. Just keep repeating Om. Just that simple. Or if you're really anxious and nervous, just Om Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shanti's peace. The vibration of the word Shanti will create peace in you because there is an energy current to it. Think of everything that you do as being related to tapping into a new line of power, a new energy of current. So when you're chanting Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, billions of people have chanted that. That's been something that's been repeated trillions and quadrillions and I don't know, where do the words go? Zillions? I don't know, what's infinite number of times, basically. It's taking your own plug and putting it in the wall socket that these other people have put the intention out for peace. So when we do that, automatically we're tapping into that. When we tap into Ganesh and know he is the remover of obstacles, this is what we are doing. We're tapping into a current that countless others have tapped into before us. And this current will feed us. It will nourish us, and it will lend us its ability to bring whatever it is we need to bring. So again, with Ganesh, it's going to be grounding, rooting. It's preparation to move above and beyond into new ways of exploring, new ways of seeing things, new potentials, new possibilities. Now, as far as with meditation, this is again from Healthline. There's basic benefits that you get from meditation and mantras being a form of meditation. Obviously, increased self-awareness, reduced stress, a greater sense of calm, increased self-compassion, a more positive outlook. Increased focus. Again, you can use them to reinforce different goals, such as developing compassion for yourself and others, or every day being a new beginning. Again, we might have had a bad day, and maybe we exploded yesterday, and you go to bed and you got that lingering energy. This is again why I like to do mantras before going into dreamland, because again, where we explore when we are asleep in the astral, and also when we leave the body permanently, is a matter of our frequency. It really is a matter of our frequency. If we have gotten into a big argument, or we're terrified about losing our job or something, chances are our dreams are going to be towards that more nervous, nightmarish side of things. If we go ahead and do mantras before bed, chances are the frequency of the mantras and just the overall calming effect will help us to have better dreams. Here you have a neuroscientist exploring the Sanskrit effect. Now, again, Sanskrit is the oldest that complete language that we have, really. And it has an unknown origin, unknown root that we really truly haven't fully discovered yet. Yet this is perhaps the most perfect language and the most powerful language that we have when it comes to verbal language. At a time from the Golden Age and even in the Silver Age when we communicated telepathically, and even in the Bronze Age we will be communicating telepathically again. Many are starting to do that. When you think of somebody and they immediately call you or text you, that's a sign of the times as we're leaving the Kali Yuga. Yet Sanskrit as a language, actually saying these mantras in Sanskrit has actually shown to increase the size of certain brain regions. The ones associated with cognitive function. They could help us to think clearer. Everything that the power structure that's out there is doing to reduce your ability to think clearly and just go along with whatever is given to you, so you don't make up your own mind, your own decisions, don't meditate on something, just go along with, be a good little puppet. No, these are going to do the opposite. These are going to give you clarity. They're going to actually increase these areas of the brain. Isn't that just fascinating? Now, some people go through much more than we do. And in past lives, I know I have spent entire lives that have been, dedicated to spiritual practice, as I've had almost every other life has been as a monk. And that is, again, something that I just go straight into so naturally. that, when I face times that I'd rather not face, what do? I just kind of isolate myself and go into mantras and meditation until I come out of it. And it's just habit. And again, it's tapping into past life. So you have some that will do full recitations of one of India's most ancient Sanskrit texts, the Shukla Yajurveda. That could take 6 hours to do. Can you imagine doing 6 hours straight? Well, most of us in this life, no, we can't imagine doing something so arduous as that. But yet there are those that have spent their entire lives doing that. And absolutely, is it any wonder why there are so many cases, tens of thousands of cases of Buddhist monks that develop the rainbow body and all of a sudden they're gone? I mean, I've felt such intensity at times in this life from doing my mantras and then doing my Qigong and my yoga practice right after that, yeah, it almost feels like I could kind of go poofed at times because the energy body becomes so overwhelmingly strong compared to the physical body. Sanskrit has power, and the English language is a language that's been constructed to have no positive power to it. And again, we've talked about that in past, videos. How's your cursive writing doing? How's your spelling doing? Have a good morning. A period of mourning? Well, have a good period of mourning. It goes on and on and on. Hell. Oh. This language has been constructed purposefully in purpose to kind of create nothing but a series of one curse after another. This is what we've been given. This is what we've been brought up with. Sanskrit's the exact opposite. It's very powerful. In fact, there's different sounds in Sanskrit that correspond to the different lotus petals on the chakras. And so the sounds of the chakras, as this article over here gets into that too, they literally open up our chakras. They open up our chakras, and each mantra will do it in a different way. This is why we start with Ganesh, because you got to open the root before the energy can flow upwards. So we start with Ganesh, Om Gam, and even if you could do Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha and just leave it at that. Or you could add in Sharanam Ganesha, which is kind of like saying, I'm giving you all my blockages, all my worries. They're yours, Ganesh. I know you're going to take care of them. So I just wanted to bring up a couple things here again. Every sound of the Sanskrit alphabet corresponds to our chakra system. The chakra system is the main conductor for the electromagnetic currents in the human body, and the channels that run through the system are called nadis. According to many tantric texts, the human body contains 72,000 nadis that channel prana. Oh, what's 72,000 times 2? 144,000. Oh, isn't that a biblical number? Yeah, it is. Now, again, this is the symbolism that's hidden within. So, again, that prana, that life force, will nourish every cell of our being. Thomas Ashley Farran is, if you want to get some good books, he just put him in whoever you want to buy books from, and you'll find he's written at least three or four books. We have like 3 of his books on mantras. They're just wonderful. And, you could actually end up creating your own mantras, and many have. But you can also use the traditional ones, which are revealed to us in the Vedas, which come from the rishis. And the rishis, again, are beings that spent all their life basically dedicated to meditation and understanding the oneness of creation. So, I just wanted to share those points with you, and I'll hand it off to Cindy here.
A couple of things when we're trying to do mantras or we're trying to meditate, going back to the monkey mind and needing to give the monkey mind a job so we can function. Mantras are one way, so we're teaching the mind how to say these mantras. Another thing, if you just want to do breathing, telling your mind to concentrate and count your breaths. That way the mind has something to do besides go absolutely crazy and wild. Now, the magic does not happen while we're doing mantras while we're meditating normally. The magic happens after that, after the chaos in the energy body has been reduced to a point. Then things tend to calm down around in our lives, or something might shift or change to help you get back on the path that you want to be on. Those are some things that I have run into while doing mantras, some understandings that have really helped me. I think the best way to teach people is to tell them what you have learned on your path. And it is a very exciting path to be on. I can't express to you enough how Ganesh has helped us through so many times. And if something is really crazy in your life and it's just really chaotic, finding the path can be difficult because everything has like a layer of fog on it. Why? Because you're in chaos. So when we're in chaos, the blood is pumping cortisol all throughout your body, and that can actually cause brain damage. So what do we need to do? We need to offset that by doing something very deliberate and stealing the mind. And that is what brings us back to our wholeness. That's what helps the brain come back to a state where it's no longer pumping all those scary hormones into our bodies. But we have to be very deliberate about it because the chaos in our lives is deliberate, so we have to meet it with that duality.
Yeah. And again, the people that have done the best that Cindy and I have worked with have been people that have adopted the mantras typically. They really are. They're the ones that have made amazing changes in their lives, completely corrected things that were going terribly wrong, and have totally lifted themselves up to all new places where, perhaps they've been able to get themselves out of the corporate structure. They're starting to delve into actually doing what they want to do, not what they have to do anymore. And when you look at this article again from Scientific American, and he's talking about the differences in the brain. Most interestingly for verbal memory was that the pandits, and pandits are again, you could think of them as religious or religiously orientated people that are performing these mantras on a regular basis, yogis and the like. The right hippocampus, the region of the brain that plays a vital role in both short and long-term memory, had more gray matter than controls across nearly 75% of this subcortical structure. Our brains have two hippocampi, one on the left and one on the right, and without them we cannot record any new information. Many memory functions are shared by the two hippocampi. The right is, however, more specialized for patterns, whether sound, spatial, or visual. So the larger gray matter increases we found in the pandit's right hippocampus made sense. Accurate recitation requires highly precise sound pattern encoding and reproduction. They also showed substantial thickening of the right temporal cortex regions that are associated with speech, prosody, and voice identity. This is just fascinating stuff, but what we want to get across is that you recognize that, yes, we are living in a matrix, and there is a negative, dark matrix enshrouded upon the planet with that fake AI. And then there is a positive matrix that's all about the exploration that the soul takes and taking these different incarnations. When we are doing these sounds and we're putting out these frequencies, we are affecting positive change in every cell of our being. In many cases, we're literally rewriting what the controllers on planet Earth have been trying to do. We're rewriting what they're doing in favor of the original plan by the original creator.
And that energy always takes front and center if we focus on it, if we put that intention out there. while we're doing mantras, I want to be my best self possible in this lifetime. It rewrites your DNA. It gives your body instructions, and it can work in very mysterious ways because it does work through the subconscious. So you'll see things kind of shift and change in your life, and sometimes it might be difficult, but that's where we have to trust. We have to look back at our lives and say, well, if that hadn't happened, then this wouldn't happen. So we have to find that trust again. And I know it can be difficult, but that's why we do this baby steps on a daily basis, day by day. Sometimes in life can be so hard, it might be 1 minute at a time, but for now it's one day at a time. And like I said, if you can't handle that, ratchet it back. Okay, 1 hour at a time, 10 minutes at a time, 1 minute at a time. And that's how we get through some of these very, very difficult times in our life and reach the goals little by little.
So again, to recap, these mantras literally do come from the higher densities, and they are a way for us to repattern and reprogram ourselves to the original programming of the Creator and what was intended for us when we first came into this realm, this universe, before the influence of the dark AI and the Kali Yuga took effect. So I cannot think of anything that's more stronger than that. And you will go into this in a little bit more depth in upcoming videos as well. So I hope you guys got some information that could be proved useful. Keep up with your daily mantras and grow from there. As always, we thank you for your support on Brighteon, on Ko-Fi, on Patreon, on Rumble, on wherever you're watching this from, as these will be going up also over there besides on HEEARTS, but HEEARTS is going to be where we go live too. So we will only be going live from HEEARTS in the future, as we want to try to put out the group meditations. And I'm going to have to go look up how to do live again. It's been a while. It won't take long. I know there's an encoder key that you put in, and then that's pretty much it. And I don't anticipate we're going to get the type of interference we've gotten in the past. Because, again, it feels almost like this is something the controllers don't want you to understand, but at the same time, it's almost like they can't interfere with this.
Right. You got to find that sweet spot.
Absolutely. As always, God bless and namaste.
Namaste.